Arrived at Camelback Ranch, superstars like Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and more. We'll look at some exclusive clips. Also, 120 wins for the Los Angeles Dodgers. A current player thinks they can reach that mark. Also, Shohei Ohtani opens up about his first season with the Los Angeles Dodgers. We take a look at the Dodgers promotional schedule for 2025. Got some more sound bites from current players. All that more coming up next on a jam-packed episode of Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You guys want to parade? We got a parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 club. Mookie magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. Everything you need to know about your boys in blue in less than an hour. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Now, if you haven't yet, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button if you really want to support the channel. Also, I want all of your Dodgers takes down below. Give me all your comments and all things Dodger baseball down below in the comment section. Also, a reminder, if you have not yet, join the brand new Dodgers Nation Discord channel. We just launched it. Subscribe for the access, the Dodgers Nation All Access Pass at $19.99. You got our first call-in this Thursday. Got a lot of stuff that is going to be exclusive, a lot of behind-the-scenes content, especially when we go out to Camelback Ranch, especially when I go to Tokyo to cover this team. Got some interviews, got some Q&As, got a lot of stuff prepped, so definitely be sure to join the new Dodgers Nation Discord. Of course, every episode starts with the Dodgers Nation poll question of the show. I asked you guys over on the X, should the Dodgers go for the all-time record in regular season wins, which is currently 116. You have the 1906 Cubs that went 116-36, the best winning percentage ever at 763, and then the 2001 Mariners, who won 116 games and had 46 losses. Right now, Dodgers Nation says 69% yes. 69% yes. So most Dodgers fans at the moment want to see the 2025 Dodgers go for the all-time record. But let me know down below what are your thoughts on that. Of course, we got super producer Mr. Noel Sanchez, Noise by Noel. He runs our social media platforms, Instagram and X. He'll be producing the show today. We'll be checking in with him.
What up? How you doing, D-Mac?
Doing great. And then also definitely be sure to drop your comments, and he's going to be featuring them on the screen, looking for your comments for the 7th inning stretch. So definitely fire away down below in the comment section. But of course, every episode of Dodgers Dugout Live starts with the leadoff.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
So if you smell that, baseball is in the air. The Super Bowl is this week. After the Super Bowl, it is going to be center stage for the Dodgers to report to spring training and get the season underway. And it's not until February 10th that you're going to see pitchers and catchers technically reporting, but a lot of the Dodgers players have already made their way down to Camelback Ranch, the Dodgers spring training facility, and they're already putting in work. We saw clips around the internet yesterday of Shohei Ohtani getting some work in. Look at Shohei getting some throws in. He's doing his workout. You got a dog there, a little wiener dog, a little Dodger dog right there. He's doing his stretching, putting his work in. And look at Shohei, man. This guy is as hungry as any athlete. He's the shortest season, getting his sprints in, getting his running in. Now I see him running those bases, getting loose. Got the hat backwards, got the New Balance gear on, and he's hungry. And there was a shot of him taking that dog all the way to a door and getting the door for the dog. So a nice little $700 million doorman right there taking care of this little dachshund right here. Thought it was a really little cute clip. Look at this right here. Look, Shohei loves dogs, man. He's got decoy, taking some break. But like, imagine this. Imagine Shohei Ohtani going over and getting the door for you, a $700 million doorman. I mean, that's pretty impressive right there. But really cool to see Shohei getting working. I mean, this is someone who had labrum surgery. This is someone who's coming off a second major arm surgery that is looking to get back on the mound and reestablish himself as one of the best starting pitchers in baseball. And he had his shortest offseason. He has a kid on the way. The dad strength is coming, as Freddie Freeman told us. He is looking to win multiple championships. He said he wants to win 9 more World Series rings. So he's putting in work. And then Mookie Betts is another guy that I have my eyes on, because the thing that I'm looking for early in spring training is how much more comfortable does Mookie Betts look at shortstop. There's Bobby Miller getting some throws in. Bobby Miller, people have sold their Bobby Miller stock. Not me. I bought all of the real estate on Bobby Miller Island. I still think it could be Miller time. I still think we could have a Bobby's world. So I still am very high on Bobby Miller. I do not want to see him traded. I think that you can't find guys that pitch with that velocity, have that nasty changeup and curveball in the mix that he has. I'm still very excited to see what a healthy Bobby Miller looks like. And he's been involved in a lot of the team events this offseason. He's hungry to get back in the mix, to see what he has. You saw Anthony Banda there. I mean, look at Mookie Betts just looking more fluid. And Mookie told me that he wants to win a Gold Glove at shortstop. And he would be just the second player in the history of Major League Baseball to have won a Gold Glove in the outfield and then a Gold Glove in the infield. Darren Erstad did it in the 2000s, but it hasn't happened in a long time. So that'd be cool to see. But my big takeaway from just these sights and sounds is just one. I mean, if I thought that last year I couldn't be more excited to see a baseball team. I really thought that was peak Dodger baseball, as far as you get Shohei, you got Yamamoto, you got Glasnow, you got all these stars, Teoscar Hernandez. The list goes on. And yes, that team did go on to win a World Series, and that was great. But as far as anticipation goes, I'm already to the point where I want to see this team go back-to-back. I want to see this team do something extra special with an infusion of even more talent. They went back and they added more talent, which is incredible to think that a team could get even better. But the Dodgers did just that. You added Roki Sasaki and Blake Snell and Tanner Scott and Michael Conforto, and you brought back Blake Trinan and Teoscar Hernandez and got Kirby Yates. I mean, there's a lot of moves that they made. Well, I do think this team has a chance to do something extra special. The question is, how special? What would define the 2025 Dodgers season and make it top what we saw in 2024? Because in 2024, you win 98 games. Shohei has a 50-50 season. You come back down 2-1 against the Padres. You had that Padres team that blew a 2-1 lead, that went 24 innings without scoring a run. And you absolutely owned those Padres team, as D stood for season done. And then you beat the Mets in the NLCS, and then you beat the Yankees in the World Series, the first team to go through the New York teams and route to a World Series championship. Yes, it was extra special. It was incredible. It's one that we won't forget. How do you top that, though? Well, 2 things you can do. Well, 1, you can set the new record for regular season wins. And then 2, you can go back-to-back and be the first team to go back-to-back since the 2000 Yankees. Be the first team to go back-to-back in the National League since the Big Red Machine Cincinnati Reds of the late 70s. Well, Miguel Rojas, he was on Chris Rose's podcast, and he actually wants to go even further than setting the new regular season record. Here is what Miguel Rojas told Chris Rose. Here's the number that he threw out. They'll absolutely blow your mind. Could the Dodgers win this amount of games? Well, Miggy Ro seems to think it's possible.
This year, if everybody's healthy, you win 120 games.
You think you can win 120 games?
With that roster?
Miggy, that's a lot.
I know it's a lot, but with that roster, you're supposed to go out there and win.
Do you think that's a goal of you? But don't you think that you guys, if you have a chance to set the single season record, that's a goal for this team?
I don't think it's a goal, it's an expectation. It's the expectation that we have, like it's winning every single day. That's why I put a number on it. I'm not going to shy of telling you that we're not able to win 120 games with that team that we have.
Wow, 120 games. Hey, why stop there, Miggy? Just go 162-0. Go 162-0. Be the baseball version of the 72 Dolphins. Just go undefeated, run the table the entire year. Do not lose a game, okay? I mean, just if you're going to go that part, why stop there? Well, 120 games is kind of insane. And the reason why is you have a balanced schedule. Each team plays each other equally through the division, through the interleague games, and you play the division games 13 times and you play the interleague game. So everyone's going to face each other. But 120 games would be a number that would exceed even, I think, anyone's most lofty expectations. And I just told you the record. It's 116 games. That was set by the 1906 Cubs. They also have the best win percentage in the history of Major League Baseball at 763. What did the Cubs do in the World Series? They lost. 2001 Mariners, they won 116 games. What did they do in the World Series? They lost. They didn't even get to the World Series. They couldn't even make it there. They lost in the CS. And then you look at a team like the 2022 Dodgers, 111 wins, had a 685 win percentage. That's the most wins by any Dodgers team in the regular season. They lost to that Padres team in the NLDS. Then there was the 1954 team now known as the Cleveland Guardians. They won 111 games, and they ended up in a good spot. But the team that I'm looking at is the 1998 New York Yankees. That is the team that I want to really have as the standard for this Dodgers team. Because that New York Yankees team, they didn't win 116 games. They won 114 games. And it wasn't just the 114 games. It was the fact that they went 11-2 in the playoffs, which gave them 125 wins, which is the most for any baseball team in a regular season and postseason combined. And they dominated. They swept their way through the Rangers in the ALDS. They swept the Padres in the World Series. You had Mariano Rivera, Derek Jeter. You had Tim Raines. I mean, David Wells threw a perfect game that with that team. So, I mean, that was just a very, very special team. That's what I want to see the Dodgers be like. Because the truth of the matter is if they win 120 games in the regular season and they don't win the World Series, then they're just the Warriors, right? They're just the Patriots. Teams that had these incredible regular season runs but didn't cap it off with a title. I mean, if you don't win the ring, it don't mean a thing, right? I mean, that has to be the mindset. Having said that, if the Dodgers did somehow, think about this, if the Dodgers did somehow win 117 games and go back-to-back, you would immediately put them in the conversation for best baseball teams in the history of the sport. That's kind of cool. I mean, in the NBA, you have the 1996 Chicago Bulls, the 72-win Bulls. In the NFL, you have the 72 Dolphins that went undefeated. Baseball doesn't really have that necessarily. I mean, the 1939 New York Yankees, the 1927 New York Yankees, the 1902 Pittsburgh Pirates. You have those Reds teams that were up there with some of the best teams in the history of the sport. But if this organization were able to put together this roster that has all this talent and all this depth, and it led to the most wins in the regular season, and you go back-to-back, then you really, really set yourself up for something that you would surpass the Yankees with as far as a regular season team. I mean, not all championships are created equal because you don't have the opportunity to go back-to-back. You have to win one just to have the opportunity to go back-to-back. So that's a major opportunity right there for this Dodgers team. And I think when you look at this roster right here, the question is where are the holes in it, right? I mean, you look at the pitching side, the depth that they have. I mean, Anthony Banda is a guy who throws 96, 97, a guy who can absolutely be a high leverage reliever for another team. And he's kind of one of the later stages guys on this team, but he's a high leverage guy on most teams in the sport. I still think that Banda is as talented as most of the guys in this bullpen, but it just goes to show the depth that they have. So really the way you lose games in the regular season is the pitching doesn't show up. I mean, you got your ace, you got your second starter, you got your middle of your rotation guys, and the number 4 starter, and that guy goes against the top offense of another team. You lose that day, right? The Dodgers have aces. They have more aces than a deck of cards. Literally, they have more aces than a deck of cards because a deck of cards has 4 aces. Dodgers have 5, right? You have Tyler Glasnow. You have Shohei Ohtani. You have Yoshinobu Yamamoto. You have Blake Snell. You have Roki Sasaki. And then you're going to go to a 6-man rotation. And then you're going to have Tony Gonsolin and Dustin May and Clayton Kershaw will be back at some point. Bobby Miller, who we talked about at the lead of the show. Then you look at the bullpen as it stands with the addition of Tanner Scott, the best lefty reliever in the sport in my eyes as far as dominance goes. I mean, yes, you can make the case for a couple guys, but Tanner Scott, I think, is the guy right now, in my estimation. Kirby Yates, Evan Phillips, Michael Kopech. I mean, the depth is there. Then on the offensive side, you're the best player on the planet in Shohei Ohtani. You have Mookie Betts, still in his prime. You have Fredericks of Hollywood, Mr. Freddie Freeman, who is the Mr. Clutch now. He's the guy who hit the walk-off grand slam in the World Series. Teoscar's back. Will Smith, Max Muncy, Tommy Edman. I mean, Michael Conforto, I think, is going to have a big year. I think Will Smith's going to have a bounce back year. So I definitely think it's possible. Should they go for it? I don't think it's the question, are they going to go for it or not? I mean, it's not like they're going for that means, oh, let's keep Glasnow out there for more innings. Let's keep Blake Snell out there for more innings or anything like that. The team as constructed, if they just go out there and be the Los Angeles Dodgers, there's a good chance they're going to win that game on any given day. So as cliche as it sounds, health is wealth. It's all about, will they stay healthy? Because if this roster, as they're constructed, with this starting rotation, with this bullpen, and with this lineup, if they all stay healthy, they will win more than 116 games. They will. As constructed. Will that happen? Probably not, based on what we've seen. But if it does, I like their chances to win the most games you've ever seen in the regular season. Now, a lot has to happen in the postseason. You guys know baseball is just going to baseball. It's designed to break your heart rate. I mean, it's the one sport where if you do something right 30% of the time, you're great at it. So we won't get into that. But regular season-wise, this team is so loaded, they could make history, and they could go down as one of the best teams in the history of the sport. But let's go into the Super Chats. Jeremy Bird, $4.99. 2025 All-Star Game, AL versus LA. That's what I've been saying, right, Noel? I mean, I've been pushing for that. If they had that,
ratings will go off the charts.
Ratings heaven, as my mom likes to say. Like, it literally would be the most viewed All-Star Game. And of course, you can't have that just because teams need representatives and this and that. But I mean, come on, that would be pretty incredible. Sports cards, report cards, $4.99. I would prefer a wild card berth that results in a World Series championship. Won over 116, 120 games won for a record and results in no World Series championship. Sports cards, report cards, I could not agree with you more. I could not agree with you more. I mean, it's all about winning a championship. You don't remember second place. You don't remember the regular season. But if you do get there and you do get past the finish line, then you can enter that conversation. I mean, I think lineup-wise, the way the team was constructed last year and the team that won the World Series, you're probably not going to put that Dodgers team in 2024 among the all-time greats just because they had 3 starters in the postseason, right? If you're doing the dream matchups, you're not saying, how is Walker Buehler or how's Jack Flaherty going to look against the Murderers Row Yankees, right? But if it's how does Blake Snell look against them? How does Tyler Glasnow look against them? Then you start to have the conversation. Ryan Montes, $2. I love how pass and bombs are also retweets. # Luca. There you go. Like that one. RR, $2 super chat. Is there going to be a 24-year in video by MLB. I'm not so sure, to be honest with you, on that. I'll have to look for that. But coming up next, we are going to dive back into Dodgers Fest. I'm going to play more clips of some of the answers that I got from some of the players, exciting stuff from Tommy Edman, from Hyeseong Kim, from Anthony Banda, and an injury update on Tyler Glasnow and why things could be different health-wise for Tyler Glasnow in 2025. That's coming up next.
What up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here to remind you that if you have not yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast. You can find it wherever you get your podcast. So if you want to listen to the show in audio form, when you're driving to Dodger Stadium, when you're driving from Dodger Stadium, when you're commuting to work, wherever it is, you definitely want to lock into the podcast. We're going to start featuring some podcast exclusives, interviews. So definitely, even if you do watch the show daily on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast, wherever your podcast. So be sure to do that. It really supports the channel. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
And welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live here on a Tuesday episode. Lots of exciting stuff in Dodgerland. And look, we know that the reviews of Dodger Fest weren't glowing. I think I heard from a lot of you guys. It's going to be great next year. A little blip in the radar. I still think that a lot of you guys had a lot of fun. So I'm excited for spring training, and that's going to be where it is at. Also, if you haven't yet, by the way, guys, be sure to subscribe to the podcast. We're going to be doing a lot of podcast exclusives in 2025 because sometimes the cameras aren't allowed in the clubhouse, but the audio is. So we're going to have some audio only exclusive content on the podcast in 2025. And also, if you want to do me the biggest favor you've ever done me, go to the Big Lead 1, not the normal Big Lead. There's another one, but we're the new version replacing that. The Big Lead 1 on YouTube. We'll drop a link down below in the description and subscribe to the new channel. And this new channel is about all things sports, the biggest stories in sports. We're going to be talking about it for less than an hour a day, Monday through Friday. Got tons of interviews. Just had an interview with my good friend, former Lakers post-game show host, Alan Slewa. We broke down the whole entire Luka Doncic trade, and we're talking Lakers basketball, the NFL, the NBA, hockey. If it's a big story in sports, we'll be talking about it over there. Also scandalous stuff, too. I mean, there's a betting scandal for an umpire. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff we're going to get into. So definitely be sure to subscribe to The Big Lead. But here in our second segment, we're going to pick up on the Dodgers Fest over the weekend. It was such a big event. All the players were there. You could tell they're really itching. They're really excited to get it going. And that was evidenced by players already showing up to Camelback Ranch. But the first guy I want to talk about is Tyler Glasnow, because I think one of the big X factors for the 2025 season is the health of Tyler Glasnow. I hear the haters out there. Oh, Tyler Glass arm, this and that. Look, this is someone who is incredibly talented. This is someone who, on his best day, when he's right, he's absolutely filthy. Just look at the game he had against the Twins. When he was on the mound against the Twins, he had a 14 strikeout game on 88 pitches. He's the only pitcher to have 14 strikeouts on fewer than 90 pitches since pitch counts became official in 1988. That's special stuff. So I will not tolerate any Tyler Glasnow slander. But the question is, how do you keep him healthy? And how much of a priority was that? If Tyler Glasnow had just had the season he had, where he was great when he was on the mound, but he wasn't available when it matters most, then he went to the offseason and did the same exact thing as last season and didn't make any changes, I'd be frustrated. But that was not the case. I asked Tyler Glasnow which adjustments he's looking to make that will allow him to be ready to go when the postseason rolls around and have a healthy full season. And here's what Glasnow had to say.
Put a good amount of World Series on the board.
Tyler, you mentioned addressing your mechanics in the offseason and how your extension kind of put more stress on your elbow and your arm. What were any changes you made maybe in the offseason to kind of address that?
I think the thing mostly just like when I land, I used to be very like extended spine angle stuff. So I've just been working with some people trying to make some small changes. But once I throw, it's hard to explain, but once I throw, you can probably see it. I asked like a bunch of different people, and there's so much like extra like outside biomechanic data you can get. A lot of it was with the Dodgers, a little mixed with a couple other people, and it's just kind of like a melting pot of things to kind of put me where I feel good now. It's like just tendonitis, I think, and it was fine. I think we originally the MRI, they were like, ooh, that could be something, and then we re-MRI'd it, and they're like, there's absolutely nothing in there. So I think it was a little bit precautionary to start, hoping it would, you know what I mean? And then we got that MRI, and everyone was like, wow, this looks really good, and I've been throwing normal, throwing opens, and I feel as good as I've ever felt, so I'm excited.
So that's extremely important. Him saying that right there. They re-MRI'd it and it didn't say anything. I see a commenter. Gary A says his name is literally Glasnow, LMAO. Tom Unger, Tyler Straight Glass Bro. Jason Dillard, I love the Glass Man. Bruh. Come on, show some respect, okay? I mean, let's think about what we have with this guy. I mean, last season, he still was great when he was right. Had a 3.49 ERA, a 2.62 expected ERA, a 2.90 FIP, had a 9.48 WHIP, had 168 strikeouts and 35 walks in 134 innings of work. That workload alone is impressive, leading the league in strikeouts. And I look at the pitch mix as well. I mean, the fastball, slider, curveball combination just absolutely works for him, but is it going to need to be adjusted? I still think that you cannot sell any of your Tyler Glasnow stock because opponents hit 190 off him, okay? That's just elite. So that is something that I'm going to be looking for early in spring training. How does that delivery look different? If they've figured out how to take less stress off his elbow and the velocity is still there, the movement is still there, the absolute filth and vertical break on that curveball is still there, then it's almost going to feel like you got a new starter. It's almost going to feel like you re-signed another elite starter because of how discouraging it was that he went down last season. So I'm excited about Tyler Glasnow. I am going to, it's year 2. So year 1, that's when you're going to learn about the guy. As great as the Dodgers are from player development and trying to keep guys healthy when they can, yes, it's a league-wide problem, not a Dodgers exclusive problem. But let's see what they do in year 2, and then we'll judge it after this year. So let's give it one more year for Tyler Glasnow before we want to paint him with the injury-prone label. Yes, he's been injured throughout his career a lot, but let's see how it looks in year 2 with pretty significant adjustments made. Now, next guy I want to talk about is Tommy Edman. Tommy Edman is the prototypical Dodger. If you went into a lab, Andrew Friedman and Brandon Gomes, and they said, okay, I want my super utility man. I want a guy that can play infield at a Gold Glove level. Check. I want a guy that can play the outfield at an above average level. Check. I want a switch hitter. Check. I want a guy that can perform in the postseason. Check, check. We saw the NLCS MVP, and he was great in the World Series too. Had the big home run in Game 2 off of Carlos Rodon against the Yankees. And then they got the extension done. They got the extension done for a guy that you don't see the Dodgers extend a lot of guys that they trade for. They did it with Tommy Edman because they've had their eyes on him for a long time. They wanted him locked up because of what he can bring. And I asked Tommy Edman about what were the biggest factors in the extension. I also asked him about his new teammate, Hyeseong Kim. We'll talk about that too. But here's Tommy Edman on his extension that he signed with the Dodgers.
Tommy, this organization hasn't signed a lot of players that they traded for to extensions. How pleased were you to get that deal done, and what were the biggest factors in signing that extension?
Yeah, no, I was ecstatic. I think the biggest thing was just being close to home back in Southern California. It kind of just felt right, being close to family and close to the place where I grew up. And then the second part of it was when I got traded here. I just felt like I was immediately comfortable around all the players, all the staff. I just felt like I was welcome right away. Not only me, but my family as well. My wife had a great time and got to know a lot of the other wives and girlfriends, and then my son Eli got to know a lot of the kids as well. So looking forward to having him grow up around LA and just get comfortable here.
So now we've heard multiple players say this. It's not just how the organization treats you as a player; it's how they treat your how the organization treats your family and friends and your wife and your kids. And that was clearly a factor for Tommy Edman as well. And I think with Tommy Edman, look, one thing I want to say is don't expect the NLCS version of him for a full regular season. One thing I don't want to see is Dodgers fans get disappointed because he's not this big offensive juggernaut player. I think he has the potential to be above average. He certainly has done that at parts throughout his career. But if you just tune into Dodger baseball during the postseason, you might think that, wow, what is Tommy Edman as a player? I mean, he must be this guy that had 11 hits in the NLCS and got those big doubles and home runs and is a slugger. No, he's not that guy. The most home runs he's ever hit in a season was 13. He's done that twice, once in 22 and once in 2023. But for the Dodgers in the regular season, he actually was slightly below average. He hit 237, had a 294 on base, slugged 417, had 6 home runs, 20 RBIs, 6 stolen bases, 5 doubles, had a 98 weighted runs created plus, so it was 2% below league average. But one thing I want to remind you is how much better he was against left-handed pitching versus right-handed pitching. Against righties, he hit 181 with 2 home runs. Against lefties, hit 412 with 4 home runs. He's also great at Dodger Stadium, had a 524 batting average at Dodger Stadium with 3 home runs against lefties. And look, his coming out party was when he hit 2 bombs off Shota Imanaga against the Cubs at Dodger Stadium. So I think that you have to take his numbers in the regular season too with a grain of salt. Like, he's a little better, I think, offensively than what he showed because he's come back off the wrist injury, right? He had made his debut after the trade deadline, and you never forget, he's the guy who came in the deal from St. Louis in the 3-team deal that included Michael Kopech and Miguel Vargas in that deal. So I love the extension. I think that for me, with this season coming up, the big question is, does he stay in center field primarily, or do you see him mix it up at second base, or do you see plan C, which would be if Mookie Betts struggles defensively, does he take over shortstop, or do you see them go to a hybrid of Miguel Rojas or something like that? But I do have my doubts that the Dodgers are just going to have him sit in center field all year and be that guy because they extended him for his versatility. So that doesn't make the most sense. So I do definitely hope to see some Andy Pages in there as well. And then you can also have Tommy Edman play some second. I mean, Hyeseong Kim's going to be in the mix as well. So the versatility, he is the Swiss Army knife now. I mean, Chris Taylor's still on the roster, and I think that he hopefully is going to have a much better season than he did last year. But even if he doesn't, you have a Tommy Edman there that takes the reins of being that super utility guy, a guy that is a plus glove in the infield and the outfield, and then hopefully an above average bat. You combine all those 3 things, and that's how you explain the Dodgers extending him to the deal that they did. Now, his new teammate, Hyeseong Kim, is going to be one of the most fascinating storylines to look at during spring training because we don't know what he's going to look like. Could he translate to the show in year 1? That's going to be a big question. But here was Tommy Edman talking about his WBC Korean national team teammate, Hyeseong Kim.
And the Dodgers signed Hyeseong Kim, your WBC teammate. So what was your reaction to that, and what can you tell us about him?
He's awesome. I was really excited. You know, I enjoyed getting the chance to play with him for the few weeks back in 2023. You know, and what stood out to me was he's an incredibly hard worker, you know, plays the game the right way, and, you know, he's going to do whatever it takes to help the team win. So I'm excited to see him again. I haven't gotten the chance to see him again since then, so it'll be good to catch up, and we'll get some good work in together during the spring and throughout the year.
Love it. It's awesome. We got some super chats here. Antonio Curiel, a.k.a. Tony Taters. I remember that guy. You remember that guy, Noel? He says, Santa Clarita legend Tyler Glasnow. Appreciate the $1.99. Awesome. Does that basically go back in his pocket in some way? Did that go to his paycheck? But we got to Richard Flores, $4.99 super chat. We think FanFest was fantastic. Sincerely, Chris Hatcher. Venue was too small for the crowd. Lines were insane. It was miserable. Waste of money. So he did not like that. What's up, Richard Flores? We got a Francisco Diaz, a $9.99 super chat. We'll scroll up here. Glasnow is a dog. Fans seem to forget the division race was tight going into the All-Star break, and his first half performance kept the Dodgers at the top. Who knows how last year plays out without Glasnow? Absolutely. Look, he tried to come back, and during a bullpen session, he knew it didn't feel right. And the Dodgers had that meeting in Atlanta where Dave told Walker Buehler he needed to be that ace down the stretch in the postseason, and the rest is history. But that brings me to Hyeseong Kim. So Hyeseong Kim, just a little background to get you caught up. The Dodgers, they had not been linked to him. There was no rumors, no even John Morosi or Bob Nightingale or Jeff Pass, and none of these guys had linked to even a Bowden didn't even have a Hyeseong Kim to the Dodgers linking at all. There was a lot of talk that he would end up in Seattle or with the Braves, possibly the Angels, but he ends up signing with the Dodgers in a surprise, shocking signing that he made hours before. Shohei Ohtani talked to him. He told him he wanted him to sign here and that it was the right move for him, gave him some advice. And the Dodgers signed him to a deal that guarantees him $12.5 million over 3 years. It also includes a 2-year club option for an additional $9.5 million. The Dodgers also had to pay his KBO club, the Kiwoom Heroes, $2.5 million as a release fee. So financially, if it works out, you're looking at over $20 million. That's not going to hurt them based on what he could provide, based on the upside that he has. He's still young. He's 25, turns 26, and actually just turned 26 in late January. He played 8 seasons in the KBO, 6 with Kiwoom. The big question, the number one question for Hyeseong Kim is the bat going to translate as far as batting average, as far as just putting the ball in play, getting singles, getting doubles, getting the occasional home runs. The most home runs he's hit in this season is 11, but it's the batting average, it's the ability to steal bases, it is the low strikeout rate, and you look at the numbers last season, he hit 326, had a 383 on base, slugged 458, stole 30 bases out of 36 attempts, a 10.9% strikeout rate, was 18% above league average in the KBO. If he got anywhere near those numbers for the Dodgers in year one, it would be a ringing success. But the big question is, can he hit big league pitching? And I asked Hyeseong Kim what he thinks will be the biggest adjustment going from the KBO to the show, and here's what he had to say.
What's going to be the biggest adjustment for you transitioning from the KBO to Major League Baseball?
그래서 KBO에서 뛰다가 이제 메이저리그에 왔는데 적응하는 동안에 가장 이제 집중하는 부분이었고
일단 아무래도 평균 구속이 안 올라가기 때문에 그런 거에 있어서 많이 집중하고 그런 부분을 많이 연습하려고 하고 있어요.
Obviously, the average fastball velo from KBO to MLB, it's a bit higher, so he's focusing on working to hit high-velocity fastballs. We had a lot of great Korean players such as Channel Park, Hyunjin Ryu, and he grew up watching them as a kid, and just a lot more exposure as a kid watching the Dodgers. So that's why it was his favorite team.
아무래도 하성이 형이랑 정우가 제가 많이 물어봤고 또 박찬호 선배님도 그렇고 류현진 선배님 이렇게 경험이 있던 선수들한테 많이 조언을 구했고 그 덕을 많이 받던 것 같습니다.
Obviously, I was former teammates with Jung-Hoo Lee and Hyeseong Kim, and I have a really good relationship with them, so I asked them a lot of questions. I'm very experienced getting adjusted to Major League Baseball, but also asked Channel Park and Hyunjin Ryu and asked them to share their experience in Major League Baseball.
So you hear the confidence there. I mean, he's ready to go. He's got advice from some of our favorites, Chan-Ho Park and Jung-Hoo Lee, who went last year, Hyunjin Ryu, a lot of the Korean players that have made their way to the show and have had success. I love his attitude, though. He's all in as far as embracing a challenge, embracing being a Dodger. I'm excited to talk to him again during spring training because he looked very comfortable in that Dodgers uniform. He looked very comfortable talking to the media. And like I said, his floor is basically a guy that can play multiple positions at above average level, right? He's got the infield versatility, can also steal bases. I mean, this is a guy that consistently went out there and stole bases. He stole at least 20 bases a year in every full season that he was in the KBO. So he had a career high of 46 in 2021. So the question is, can you get on base? And that's going to be the big question. Can he handle high velocity pitching in the show? I think he has the potential to do that based on the bat speed, based on what I was told from someone within the organization was that, hey, they didn't sign him to not play him. They are expecting to give an opportunity to contribute to this team. Will it be as a starter everyday day one? That's going to depend on the bat. But I like the fact that you have other tools that he can bring to the table that can absolutely contribute to his game, that can allow him to have some sort of impact, even if he's not this all-star level player. But excited to see him play. Now, let's switch gears to the Dodgers promotional schedule. I want to talk about this. Let's read some super chats. By the way, we got Stephen Blevins, a 199 Tortoise for life. We got Stephen Blevins also. I'm convinced Machado threw that ball into the Dodgers dugout to have Ohtani sign it for him. It's a comment, sir. It's a comment of the show status. Appreciate that.
You win. Perfect.
But let's switch gears and talk about the Dodgers promotional schedule, because there's some really awesome giveaways this year. I mean, when it comes to the Dodgers and what they give away in their calendar, it's just insane. I mean, you got jerseys and bobbleheads and just sweatshirts. But this year, I really think they outdid themselves. Starting on March 29th against the Tigers, Saturday, that opening weekend, they're giving away a road gray Oral Hershiser 80s looking Dodgers road jersey. This is the one with the white piping around the Dodgers word mark. You got the Y on the sleeves. That's incredible. Then March 31st versus the Braves, you got this really nice Dodgers hoodie. I like it. You have the white drawstrings. Then we're talking MVPs. You might already want to get in line for an Ohtani MVP today. April 2nd versus the Braves, a Shohei Ohtani MVP bobblehead. Now, this is really nice because he's holding the MVP award. He's got the black bat. He's got the white gloves. Then this is the one, if I had to pick one bobblehead for the year, man, it'd be tough to choose. But this is the contender. April 11th against the Cubs, a Friday game, a Freddie Freeman bobblehead where he's doing the Statue of Liberty, where he's doing the Statue of Liberty pose after hitting the grand slam against Nestor Cortez in Game 1 of the World Series. That's iconic. I love that right there. That's really cool. Then on April 14th, you got a Hello Kitty squish plush. That'll be popular. You'll probably have the Hello Kitty night out with the mascot. Then, of course, the Jackie Robinson giveaway on April 15th on Jackie Robinson Day, a Tuesday versus the Rockies. Jackie Robinson jersey. Those are always really well done. You got the cool Jackie Robinson autograph on the bottom. You got the 42 on the front and the back. No one will ever wear 42 ever again. So that's really cool. And then a Dave Roberts bobblehead on April 26th against the Pirates. This one's really cool because the difference here is Dave Roberts is wearing that really cool Dodgers bomber jacket, the zipper one, that Nike one that's sold out everywhere. He's got the two fingers pointing up. This is clearly him celebrating winning the World Series. He's got some Jordans on. So that's April 26th. Then you got a Mookie Betts bobblehead on Tuesday, May 13th against the A's. Got Mookie running there, so that one's pretty cool. May 15th, this is going to be a big one. Shohei Ohtani, 50-50 bobblehead. And the reason it's a 50-50 one is he is sliding. He's sliding. I'm pretty sure they're going to have some gold ones. Maybe he'll have just like 50 gold ones to celebrate. Something like that would be pretty cool. Hopefully we'll see Decoy throughout the first pitch once again. But that's May 15th against the A's. Then this is my second contender for ones that I want, that I need like I need oxygen. May 19th, Vin Scully bobblehead versus the D-backs. And it's Vin wearing the suit, got his elbow on his knee, kind of got that classic Vin Scully pose. I love, too, it's presented by 76, so it gives you those old Dodgers vibes. That's really an awesome one. Cannot wait to see the finished version of that. Vin Scully, the GOAT of all GOATs. It's time for Dodger baseball. So that's awesome. May 21st, we don't have a picture of this one, but it's a Will Smith bobblehead. It's really cool. They gave me a bobblehead. I really appreciate that. Hopefully I throw out the first pitch. Don't you guys think I should throw out the first pitch on Will Smith's bobblehead night? Let's be honest. June 2nd, a Tommy Edman bobblehead against the Mets, which is fitting because, of course, he won the NLCS MVP against the Mets. So that's really cool. Then on June 4th, a Sandy Koufax Brooklyn Dodgers jersey. Then for Father's Day on June 15th, you got the bucket hat like they do every year. Then June 16th, you definitely want to add this one. It'll be the first Blake Snell bobblehead night. And this, coincidentally, is against the San Diego Padres. So the first time the Padres come to town, look at the giveaways. June 16th, it is Blake Snell, the former Padre. Then June 17th, it is the World Series replica trophy. This will be the closest the Padres ever get to a World Series trophy. This has to be grade A trolling by the Dodgers. And then week 18th, you get the gold players jerseys against the Padres. Don't have a picture of this yet. So think about this. The first time the Padres come to town, you got a Blake Snell bobblehead, a player that won a Cy Young for them and didn't re-sign with them. And then on the next night, you have a World Series replica trophy. And then on the third night, you have a World Series gold player jerseys. I'm sure it's going to look like the ones that the Dodgers will wear when they get their rings to open the year. So, hey, Padres, just so you know, this is how you prank the other team. This is how you meme the other team. You don't disrespect legends like they did with Clayton Kershaw with the crying meme that was the downfall of their season. This is how you do it. And I haven't seen the schedule for the next time they play the Dodgers, but I think they should go another round. I want to see a Roki Sasaki bobblehead night the next time they play the Padres. I want to see a Tanner Scott bobblehead night the next time they play the Padres. Hell, even have a River Ryan bobblehead night when it's the Padres. Hell, have it be a Jack Flaherty bobblehead night where he's pointing to the dugout where he's telling Manny Machado to get the F in the dugout. I think the Dodgers need to take it to the next level with that, but I know what they're doing. That's A1 trolling by the Dodgers, and you love to see it. Then this is another one that goes into my all-time list that I have to have. June 21st versus the Nationals, a Saturday game, Ice Cube bobblehead. And, of course, it's from the performance where he's doing Bow Down, and it was a good day. So this is really cool. And, of course, Lakers didn't beat the Supersonics, but the Dodgers did beat the Yankees that day. And he's got the jacket. He's got his hands up. He got the fitted. He's got the Ice Cube on the bottom right there. I don't know if it comes with a twerking Dave Roberts as a throw in there. That'd be kind of a cool little extra accessory, but that one's awesome. It'd be cool if they had like a little push button too that played Bow Down. Dude. That'd be pretty cool. Then on July 2nd, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. This one's really clean. He's doing the Yamamoto pose. How about this? July 6th, Joe Davis is getting a bobblehead. Joe Davis, the guy that did the impossible, filled the shoes of Vin Scully, was the guy that followed up Vin Scully, and he's done an incredible job. He is the best broadcaster in Major League Baseball, in my opinion. He's getting his bobblehead night. Then on July 18th, Ron Say, Legends of Dodger Baseball bobblehead. We'll probably have Ron Say back on the show, the Penguin. Then July 19th, Fernando Valenzuela bobblehead night. That's going to be really special, emotional. First full year after Fernando Valenzuela's passing. That's against the Brewers. Then Monday, July 21st, a World Series player rings. Those are cool. You're going to see people wearing those all season long because we haven't even seen their ring yet, so it'll be a replica of that. July 22nd, a Teoscar Hernandez bobblehead. Then August 4th. I think they should have saved this for the Padres, but Roki Sasaki bobblehead. Need that. Need the first Roki Sasaki. That's August 4th against the Cardinals. Tuesday, August 5th, a Hello Kitty item. They haven't specified what it is. That's August 5th against the Cardinals. Then August 6th versus the Cardinals, a Shohei Ohtani World Series ring. Don't know what this means. Did he get his own special ring? Did he get 2 rings for two-way player? I don't know. Did he get a ring for position player? He didn't pitch, so it didn't really make sense. But August 8th, Kobe Bryant bobblehead. A Kobe Bryant bobblehead. I already know what it's going to look like. It has to be him with the backwards hat, the hands up, after Puig hits the home run on Eduardo Rodriguez and Erod slams his glove into the mound. Or it could be how he looked when he threw out the first pitch years prior to that. But I hope it's the one with the hands up after the Puig home run. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to be. But that's going to be a special one. That's a must-have. August 8th against the Blue Jays. It's a Friday game. Then Saturday, August 16th, Blake Trinan bobblehead. Love Blake Trinan. He deserves a bobblehead. Then August 25th, Mookie Betts World Series ring. I'm sure that'll be similar to Shohei Ohtani's. Then Wednesday, August 25th, Shohei Ohtani 50-50 bobblehead. I'm sure this will celebrate the 50 home runs. Then Wednesday, September 10th, another Shohei Ohtani bobblehead. So if they just had a Shohei Ohtani bobblehead night every night, they could basically afford any player ever until the end of time. So more Shohei stuff. Maybe they're going to have to find a way to spin that one because we had the special decoy one. They'll figure out a way to make that one special. September 15th, Freddie Freeman World Series ring. September 18th, Tyler Glasnow bobblehead. And that's what we know so far. They'll add some along the way. But the ones that I need on my all-time need list, I need the Kobe Bryant. I need the Roki Sasaki. I need the Ice Cube. I need the Freddie Freeman. Probably need a Shohei Ohtani one in there. Also would love to have a Dave Roberts one as well. But let me know down below in the comment section, which of the Dodgers giveaways are you looking forward to the most this year? Go to you, Noel. What stands out when you look at the promotional calendar?
Absolutely the Kobe one. I believe it's the first Kobe Dodgers bobblehead night. So I think that's going to be super special. The Freddie Freeman holding up his bat as well. I definitely want to go to one of the Padres and Dodgers games. I feel like Dodgers knew exactly what they were doing. And
100%.
that first Blake Snell Dodgers bobblehead would be pretty cool to have. Like you said, there's just something cool about him. Everything he does is just super smooth. And I think he's going to dominate this year.
For sure. No doubt about it. Just they go next level. They're the best. But let's get in a quick 7th inning stretch because I know you guys have been firing away in the comment section. So here, let's get into it.
The 7th inning stretch.
Four-seater 777, $4.99, half a torta on me.
Bruh.
Jay, I won an Arson Judge dropping the ball bobblehead. That's awesome. We got Jose Aguirre, Dodgers, going to make me broke with all these great giveaways. Facts. Brandon Guzman, the Vince Scully bobblehead is the one for me. Yeah, I think, did I mention that one? That's that and the Kobe are the two I would want. If I had to just pick two, it'd be those two for sure. Could not agree with you more. Ron Stobble, Kobe 24 jersey giveaway against the Padres for 24 scoreless innings. Yes. Antonio Curiela. What up, Tony Taters? Vince Scully and Fernando Valenzuela bobbleheads for sure. Wouldn't mind that replica ring also, no doubt about it. Hepatitis, see you later. I already have my tent set up at Dodger Stadium.
Bruh.
I love it. Beerasama, I heard Padres are giving a wild card championship ring in June. Jose Aguirre, Giancarlo Stanton still rounding third base bobblehead.
Finish him.
Hepatitis, see you later. Give us a Shohei Yamamoto Sasaki bobblehead 3-headed monster. Oh my goodness. That's an awesome idea. I love that. Mixo Pillix, Padres management giving each other high fives for coming in third to land Roki. I love that. We got SK, wish they had a Profar crying bobblehead after he rejected his ball.
Finish him.
Elias Alonso, what up, D-Mac? What up, Noel? What up, guys? Awesome. Oh, awesome. You're still in line at the Dodger Fest. Sherry Lumen, how early should I get to Dodger Stadium for the Freddie bobblehead? Man, just look, you can get there. They're actually, I think I'll talk about this more tomorrow. They're actually making a new system where it's going to be harder for people to just hoard the bobbleheads. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But yeah, I did see a lot of times going to games, people just with these massive bags. And I respect the hustle. Trust me, I do. But it did make it difficult for some people to get bobbleheads. And they have come up with a new system to try to combat that this season for sure. We have Milan 15 Cup was included in the Luka trade. Like that. We got Carmen Alexander. Any Shohei bobbles plus World Series trophy, World Series rings, and Freddie. No doubt about it. We've got Lance Lynn giving up another home run bobblehead.
Finish him.
I love that. But, yep, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Go to gearup.la for all of our merchandise. We'll do some more questions, too. We'll bank some of these for tomorrow's episode for the 7th inning stretch as well. Just had a very jam-packed show today, but we'll be back tomorrow. Anything breaks, of course, I'll go live. I want that Kike announcement, okay? I'm waiting for it. I need it. So anything breaks, we'll definitely get to that. Special thanks to Noel Sanchez for rocking with us as always.
You guys have a blessed Tuesday. Shout out to D-Mac.
Yeah, but yeah, for sure. And absolutely, definitely, yeah, for sure. And make sure you guys definitely join that Discord channel too. Join the Discord channel. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time.